Oh, hello. Hi.
I'm sorry for the hold. I had to get through to a supervisor. So I advised her about what was going on about the request to switch to the analog versus the digital.
Yeah.
And she said that what I can do is submit the request, and that way when they go out to do the install, or, when they call you to do the install, they'll let you know what we're going to be able to do. So I can do my best to request and describe what it is that you would like, but I just don't want to guarantee you that that's going to happen.
Well, the thing is, this building dates back to 1928. It's not a new. The bank of meters is the same. Anything that got switched out with the meters themselves, and it's my issue with the smart meters. Not only do they the digital signal processor records and sells on information about all the appliances that I'm using, it also sends dirty electricity through my electrical cords, and that's also a health issue. So basically I don't consent to either of those things.
Right.
So
to the digital one at all.
Yeah, the wireless thing makes it even worse. But that's not the only issue about this. I do not consent to be in the smart grid. So that's pretty much
I understand, and that's why I was trying to explain to her how you wanted to not even have a digital one.
Right.
And what she stated that the best that I can do for you is going to be to notate it on the request that you don't want the digital, that you want to go back to the analog with the clock meter that has it like that. So I can put in that request, but like I said, I just don't want to guarantee it because I don't want you to be upset if they call you and tell you that it's still going to be a digital versus an analog.
Well, I will be upset, but I won't be upset at you. If that helps out. I'll be upset at PG&E.
But I just want to prevent it if I can.
Great. Excellent. By the way, what's your name?
My name is Erica.
Erica, great. And it is July 17th. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and notate the account. Let me go ahead and finish reading this to you, and then you can decide if you still want to continue. So what they said is it'll be the digital non-communicating. It supports the rate plan, but does not have the radio transmitter in it.
But I don't consent to that.
So then do you not want me to put through the request?
No, the request, which was the original request, which I filled out on your website, was for an analog meter. And I have the screen grab where you accepted that request.
You signed up for it?
Yeah, back on June 18th. And this is a bait and switch. And I know PG&E tries this routinely, but there is no electrical or technical reason why a analog meter cannot be put back where it was before. It'll still work.
Okay. What I can do is get you over to a supervisor then. Because they're at this point, the only thing that I have in my hands available to you to help you with is going to be to do the opt-out, but it's still going to tell me that it's going to be a digital meter. Now, if it's escalated more than that, where you're requesting an analog, then I would have to get you to somebody else.
Yeah, the head of the Public Utilities Commission has agreed that people should be able to go back to the analog meters, not the digital meters. That's already been discussed openly at the Public Utilities Commission by Michael Peavy. So we are within our right to go back to. Well, you guys didn't actually. You're on really sketchy legal ground, and I'd encourage you to. Just put me up to a supervisor. I'll give them grief.
I understand your concern, and I know that you have that option to go back, but it's not letting me tell you that it's going to be an analog one. So,
put me in touch with someone who can tell me that.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Yes, good morning, Patrick.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Very good, sir. My name is TJ. I'm a senior service rep here in the Sacramento call center, and your call is transferred to me so I can assist you with your request.
Great. Okay, so to briefly go back on June 18th, online, I submitted a request to opt out of the smart meter program, and now the previous representative I spoke to said you guys are going to replace a smart meter with a smart meter, which is not my agreement. My agreement was to get an analog meter, which was clearly stated on your website. So are you breaking that contract?
I don't know about what kind of meter is going to be put into your location.
No, the agreement.
I just know that I believe, don't quote me on this, Patrick, I believe the only meters that we have available are they're all the same meter, but the new meters just don't have the radio frequency remote capability.
It's still a smart meter.
Okay.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'll put the request in, and when someone calls you to set the appointment at that time, you can discuss that with them.
So are you saying that this whole smart meter opt-out thing is not opting out at all then? So this is a sham, effectively. I mean, I'm not blaming you personally. It's your company has really deceptive practices. I'm opting out of the smart meter program on your website. So if you want to go back to the analog meter, just fill in these forms, which I did. I've waited a month, nothing happened, and now I'm being told I'm going to get another smart meter. That's just, well, all kinds of wrong.
So let me at least put the request in to opt out of the smart meter program, and then when they call you, because I mean, you still want to opt out of the smart meter program.
I do. Basically, I want to get rid of the smart meter. And whether it's transmitting or non-transmitting, it's still a smart meter.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the request that I put in, which was accepted by you guys, and then subsequently lost for some reason, was to get rid of the smart meter, put back in an analog meter, as has worked fine for the 20 years that I've lived here. So I want you to put that in, and if you can somehow confirm that the request is not to replace it with a non-transmitting smart meter, but an analog meter, as I originally agreed and contracted with you guys for.
Well, this is, Patrick, unfortunately, in my position, I don't make the decisions on that, okay? All I can do is put in the request that you want to opt out of the smart meter program. It does specify here when I'm putting in the request, it says your rate or service type isn't supported by analog mechanical meters. To complete your opt-out request, what we can offer you is a digital non-communicating meter which can store hourly energy data supporting the rate plan. Does not have a radio transmitter, and that's a breach of contract. You contracted with me when I opted out to put back in the an analog meter, an analog mechanical meter.
Mechanical meter, yeah, non-smart, non-transmitting, regular meter, which has worked for, this building's been around since 1928. It's worked all the way up until now. Mm-hmm. The wiring is all the same. All you have to do is just plug it in and have some dude come out and read it once a month. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So
should I put in the request to continue based on this information, or should I leave it alone and then just put in a request to that department to make contact with you in order to opt out?
I want to reaffirm my request, which I filled out a month ago.
Well, that I don't see. I
can send you the screen grab. I suspected this sort of thing might have gotten lost, so I took the precaution of taking a screen grab. The thank you page thank you for submitting your opt-out request. I actually have this, and it's dated June 18th, and it was at 10:21 p.m.
Okay. send this over. Hold on one second, okay? I'm going to send this over to the proper department for them to look into this for you, okay?
Also,
Give me 1 second.
if for some reason you've managed to destroy all of your analog meters, which I wouldn't be at all surprised, I if you like, can go out and purchase a mechanical analog meter that's still available to give to you guys to put in. They're like $50. You know, I can afford that.
Well, that's me. This is for the property, apartment 603, right, Patrick?
Yeah. You said the note on the account was saying something that the rate plan doesn't support an analog meter.
Well, it says rate or service type.
Rate or service type. So that could mean
it's one or the other. So according to this particular rate or service type, it's not supported by an analog mechanical meter.
But that, to me, sounds like a policy decision. That's not a mechanical, electrical, or physical problem.
Okay, it's quite possible. Yes, sir.
So again, you know, I'm not blaming you personally for the policies that are given from on high at PG&E, and I wouldn't expect you to publicly, you know, voice your opinion one way or the other. But legally, I am standing by my contract with PG&E, which is I pay PG&E money, they supply energy. I never consented to the smart meter. And when the opt-out thing came through, I contracted with PG&E to get rid of the smart meter and put in an analog mechanical meter. And the company that you work for has broken their contract by the sounds of it, and are trying to get around it by saying some policy reason why they can't put the thing in that worked so well for years. And I basically do not consent to having a smart meter. I'm willing to pay you for any energy that you supply, you know, and I've always paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you guys to do the right thing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not going to be I'm not one of these people that just clicks OK on, you know, do you agree to the software terms? I'm not one of these OK clickers. I actually read stuff. I have some legal background. So I'm not going to say, oh, go ahead and put in... If you're defining opting out as having a different smart meter, that I do not agree to that change of the agreement. Is basically what I'm saying.
So at this very moment, Patrick, I have put in a request. I've sent this complaint, because that's what it is. We're going to call it a complaint.
Yeah.
I've sent this complaint to the Customer Impact Department for smart meter installation and opting out of the smart meter.
Right.
And they are the matter experts, unfortunately not I.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
So what I'll do is I'll send that over, and we'll make contact with you.
That's great. Also, can I give you my email address?
Patrick
That's me. Great. Excellent.
Yep, they definitely have that.
Great.
Okay. So
Awesome.
sorry, sir. So let's right now. So you're in the program until otherwise dedicated that, you can get what you want. You want the analog meter, and then, we'll decide from there, okay?
Great.
All right, sir.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you, Patrick. Have a good day now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.